Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It is another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. We got Kelly Cook in the building. How you doing today, Kelly?
What's up, Elizabeth? I'm doing great. It's another great day. It's almost Christmas, so I hope this won't date us when this is released, but it's almost Christmas. Best time of the year for a lot of reasons, specifically business planning for 2021, not Christmas. But
that's not what I would say, because I like Christmas Day, but we'll go with that's the second best. But cool.
No, business planning, that's what everyone hopes to find in their stockings.
Right? Yeah.
That's right.
Give me presents of
That's right.
planners and yeah. Perfect. Well, today we're kind of on a roll with guests. These past couple episodes, we've gotten some really good information and some great guests on here. And today is no different. We have Randy Carroll here with Chime, a CRM that you may or may not have heard of. It's a little bit newer in the realm of all the many CRMs that are available to kind of keep your leads in and all of that. But today we want to hear about Chime and kind of what that process looks like if you were to, become use Chime, kind of switch over your CRM, kind of what sets it apart and why it should be something you should look into when you are doing that business planning for 2021, if you're not finished up quite yet.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Elizabeth, for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, we are too. I'm not short of I'm not short of words usually ever. So I'm glad I had a chance to get in here and ask you some questions, Randy, because I've heard about Chime and a lot of people are using it at a very high level right now. It's kind of been this new, it's a new girl that came into high school, right? Everyone's talking about.
We've got the new kid Shine still.
Exactly. So I'm glad to dive into this. Number one aspect of why agents really need a good CRM to begin with, and then number two, why Chime, right?
Sure.
So I guess in your opinion, we have our opinion. We talked about a little bit on this podcast, Elizabeth and I. But Randy, in your opinion, why does a agent need an actual robust CRM and not just an Excel spreadsheet?
Sure. So I would actually take it a step further at this stage of the game and say that agents need a CRM that is also integrated with an IDX website. I think a lot of folks, maybe such as yourself, Kelly, when you think CRM, you probably associate it already with an IDX website. But there are some folks who may be newer to the CRM world, or maybe who are blissfully ignorant of what they're missing out on without an IDX integration. But an IDX CRM solution is not really an optional product in the real estate space anymore. It's you are running a professional sales organization, and there's not going to be a professional sales organization in the history of professional sales organizations that don't have a CRM. So why would yours be any different?
Bingo. Well, that's good. That's good. And for those who don't know, guys, an IDX is nothing more than the exchange between the information of homes for sale on the MLS and your website, or any website for that matter, right? So that's a very good point, that you just don't want a static spreadsheet and then it went to a static CRM that, yeah, it had names and addresses and emails of individuals, but now you have the ability to give someone search, right? And they can search all the properties, potentially even more accurate than Zillow. And then you can see with the predictive analytics what they're doing and searching on the back end of your site, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's really important to have that behavior tracking within your CRM, because it helps give you context for who is and who isn't searching at the moment. And it helps prioritize your follow-up. It helps you with behavioral-based automation. You can incorporate AI into that activity tracking that really helps you bring your conversion numbers up. And one of my favorite things about Chime is that we are what we call ourselves lead agnostic. So it doesn't matter if you're getting your business exclusively offline. So let's say clients, sphere of influence, circle prospecting, billboards, whatever your thing is. Or if you're getting your leads online, Zillow, Realtor, Google PPC, Facebook, what have you, the Chime platform is built in such a way that you can configure the platform for each and every lead source, for each and every type of unique follow-up structure that you'd like. And the system is going to be incredibly effective. So in my last employment, I was always concerned about lead gen sales, right? Because that is such a delicate topic, and there's so much that can go wrong with lead generation. With a CRM, we own the technology, we create the technology, we're in full control. So I can confidently say to a client, if you plug your business into Chime CRM, you will get more deals out of your existing CRM. And there's no debate to be had about that. The reason why we're the belle of the ball, why we're that new kid in school, is because our clients are experiencing that.
That's awesome. So, okay, so what I'm hearing you right, you're saying that you could have a CRM that you may like a little bit, or maybe you're just like, I can't switch because I have so much data in there, or whatever the case is. And first of all, I think you have a good solution for that as to why you could switch. But even if you don't want to, you're saying you could add Chime on to your current CRM, keep it, and with the lead generation technology it has built in through Google PPC, Facebook, etc., you could start generating leads that go into that CRM and have it worked so that they are all in kind of one place still. Is that kind of what you're saying, Randy?
Yeah, so if you have, and maybe you've experienced this, a lot of CRMs are really lead generation companies that have technology attached to it, and the technology is very heavily skewed towards online leads, right? There's a whole reason why Buffini created his own piece of technology specifically for referrals, because CRMs were really just meant for online leads. So a lot of these programs have built this reputation where I will get a CRM if I do online leads. And that's just not the case. So we took the best of both worlds, an agent with an offline business and an online business, and we built a CRM that empowers you to be successful with both.
Wow.
And in terms of transitioning, you made a brief mention. We have what we call an advanced data import that, while I will not ever present the transition process as being simple and easy and pain-free, because that's just not true, and you know it. But in terms of maintaining the highest percentage of data integrity that you could possibly maintain, I will plant our flag on that hill and say we do a better job transitioning data than any of our competitors.
Well, that's a huge pain point, because I've, just being transparent, I've made that switch from CRM to CRM before, and boy, it just didn't go well because of what you just said, right? And so now, naturally, I'm a little apprehensive about doing that again, albeit I will be trying out Chime, that's for sure, because there's just too much good news I've heard about it to not do so. It's silly not to try that, right? At least have an add-on with it or something of that nature, because I've heard the lead generation results that you're getting in terms of conversion is phenomenal. And you mentioned AI yesterday. For those who don't know, that stands for artificial intelligence, and having that in CRMs now is not just a nice little add-on, it's mandatory. It's a must. You have to have that. Otherwise, you won't be able to compete with the agent of the future without that. That's for sure. And so that's great to hear you guys have that AI component with Chime, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It really is a must-have, especially in the day and age where everyone and their mom and children are searching online, right? In order to scale a business, you have to be scalable, and you can't do that if you are the only person following up on leads. If you don't have a team, you have to have artificial intelligence in order to scale the way that you follow up and convert leads. And with our AI assistant, we partnered with Google to create a machine learning product. And it's the beauty is, because it's machine learning, it means the product improves naturally with every single conversation it has. So, if we were to talk a week from now, our product would be better than it was, than it is today. And if your chat conversation, if your bots are based off of keywords, they're never going to improve unless I go in and improve them myself. So there's a huge difference between keyword-based bots and machine learning-based bots.
Wow, you're talking bots now, like robots, right? And I think most of the people in real estate,
Decepticons,
go bots. Yeah, I think most people understand what that means now in real estate. We've been doing it all, but for anyone who's new, guys, he's right. Everyone knows Facebook Messenger, and now you can run bots through Facebook Messenger with ads, and you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. So you have to have a centralized hub, guys, a hub that stores, houses all your data, and then communicates it with effectively at scale, like Randy just said. And you need that help with artificial intelligence, smart drip campaigns, auto emails, of course, and text messages and things of that nature, which I assume Chime does all that really well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it absolutely does. And guys, the numbers, I've screamed these numbers from the rooftop every time I can, because they're incredibly alarming, right? NAR puts out a report that says 11 to 12% of people use the same realtor twice.
That's really low.
God, thank you. Yes, yeah, that is super
horrible.
Low.
Nobody's paying attention.
Like if you're in your car and you didn't just slam on your brakes as a professional realtor, stop everything. 11 to 12% use the same realtor twice. That is terrible. An increasing percentage every single year are finding their realtors online, and less are finding them through referrals or through past business, right? So a CRM meanwhile, Zillow is selling hundreds of millions of leads a year. As an investor of Zillow, or as someone who owns stock, I'm probably excited. Yeah, sell more leads. As a real estate professional, we know that the number of homes being sold each year isn't really changing. It does this, right? Yep. It's about 6 million homes a year. Meanwhile, Zillow's lead gen has increased 10x.
Yep.
Guys,
why is that, right?
Why, and if you don't have a CRM and you can't manage and follow up with leads at scale, and you don't have tools to identify active and ready buyers, you are going to spin your wheels and you are going to burn out of the business.
Yep. And what I love about the IDX solution is that's your magnet, right? So they don't go to Zillow. A lot of MLSs in most cities, they don't allow the consumer to change the search up. Like, we'll set it up as an agent, we'll send it to them, make sure they're getting the auto alerts and everything. But if all of a sudden they go, you know what, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I really need 4 bedrooms, not 3. And I can't change Kelly's search, so I better go look elsewhere. Where do they go? Zillow. Yeah. Or Realtor, maybe, if they don't have a place that you are connecting with them on, which is your CRM with the IDX solution, right? Mm-hmm. Great point. Elizabeth, do you have any questions about CRMs, Chime, et cetera?
I mean, I have so many questions about CRMs, but I think that I don't have as much experience as probably anybody listening here. So, so they probably have a better understanding than I do. But one thing I was a little bit curious about was like the bots that you're talking about in, using that AI. Could you give us an example of kind of what their conversations might look like that's a little bit different than like, one of those that you have to manually change? Like what kind of elevates them? Why are they better? What are their conversations looking like?
Sure. So let me explain the difference between kind of keyword recognition and then what we're doing with machine learning, right? So with keywords, these bots are looking for a specific word or a short phrase, and their response is going to be predetermined based off of that keyword. So what it's lacking in that is context. The bot completely misses the context of how that phrase may or may not have been used. With the machine learning, we're taking the full conversation into consideration, analyzing the conversation, and then running it through hundreds of thousands of conversations that have already happened and determining what that response is going to be. So that obviously
a lot more efficient.
Yeah. Much more efficient, more effective,
user friendly.
User friendly, absolutely. And our bot also isn't limited to website chat. I think a lot of people go that direction when they think of bots, but my favorite thing about ours is that it actually holds conversations via text message. So if you are buying Zillow leads, the Zillow lead is going to be getting a text immediately from our AI assistant saying, hey, thanks for filling out that form on Zillow. My name's ABC, the assistant for Kelly Cook. How can I help you? And then they'll carry on a conversation. And then what's also nice is that the bot then categorizes your conversations into one of 3 different buckets, if you will. The most obvious one is going to be if it's a hot lead, they're responding, they're ready to talk, they indicate interest, then the system is going to alert you to let you know, okay, it's time for me now as the realtor to introduce myself. The second one is a nurture bucket. So if the person indicates any level of interest, but it's going to be, let's say 6 months plus out, it will move the lead into that nurture bucket. And then there's a cold/non-responsive bucket where if the lead does not respond or responds negatively, then we'll move them into a much larger time frame follow-up campaign. So it's very effective in terms of helping you pare down which leads you're working with because you're not spending time with the cold leads or the non-responsive leads.
Wow, it's
That's
interesting.
crazy.
Okay, yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I tell you what, guys, Randy has been in the CRM world, in the real estate specific CRM world now for a long time, right? He knows this inside and out. I'm extremely fortunate they came on our podcast here to share with you guys some nuggets about why CRMs are effective, why you should have one, and what you should be looking for when you go to sign up for one. So Randy, I got 2 more questions for you, and I think that will about wrap it up. But this is your chance here. So if someone is like, I have a CRM now, but I'm not really like it that much, I want to know more about Chime, why would they even consider Chime as opposed to the one they currently have or any other one out there on the marketplace?
Sure. So there's a few checklist items that I recommend people run their CRM through. And if the answer is no, or I don't know to any of them, then we immediately should have a conversation. The first I'm going to say is, do they have an open API? This was a completely foreign concept when I got into the business so many years ago. Nobody knew, including myself, by the way, knew what an open API was, right? So essentially what that means is the system's ability to play friendly with other pieces of technology in the sandbox. If you are struggling with your platform, with integrations for other products, we should have a conversation.
Yep.
Next checklist, mobile first. If you feel that you are handicapped to be away from your laptop or desktop in terms of access to your CRM, Chime was built mobile first. So we recognize that very rarely are you in front of your computer, and consequently you should have access to your clients at all time. Reporting. If you have a hard time tracking ROI from lead sources, yearly production goals, agent activity, if you're sitting down and having a one-on-one with an agent on your team and you can't pull up their activity or their production, then it's going to be a really quiet one-on-one because what are you really going to talk about? I would say mass communication and transaction checklists would be the final 2. So if any of those don't check, if you can't check the box for any of those, let's talk.
There you go. I mean, that's
spelled out very plainly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
there's your checklist, guys. Like, rewind that segment right there for 45 seconds, whatever it was, and just go through that.
Do a CRM audit. Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's it.
I mean, as you should. As part of your business planning, you need to audit your CRM. You should audit your tech stack. You should have the honest conversation with yourself. Is this what I need in my business in order to grow next year? And maybe Chime isn't the solution for you. It, quite frankly, probably will be. But if it's not, I will be happy. I will be happy to point you in the direction of someone who can help you, because partnerships is also very important to Chime. So if you're having a non-CRM problem as well, reach out and ask us who would be a good vendor. We're happy to point you in any direction.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Okay. So then I think the last question is then in terms of someone's wondering, okay, this sounds all great, Randy, but give me a range of cost, right? What's the entry level and what does it go up to based upon big teams, individual agent, whatever it may be?
Sure. So we have 3 different products based off of your needs. One is a growth package that's meant for an individual agent, maybe an agent and a transaction coordinator, admin, small team. We have a team package that's built for your more 5 to 15 size team. It can grow if your team is a little bit larger. But then if you're a brokerage, then we have a brokerage enterprise solution as well. All those are going to be priced differently, obviously, but I'll say this, our average client is spending about $700.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Fantastic. And then whatever lead buy, you guys aggregate leads and algorithms for that too, that goes on top of that, right?
Yeah. So if you want to spend money in Google PPC with us or Facebook, then yes, whatever your ad spend is, it's exactly the same as it would be with anybody. Just add that on top.
That's pretty affordable. I mean, I think the average client with some of the big ones that we all know names of, is probably looking more around like $1,200 to $1,500 a month, spend.
Yeah, we're really competitively priced. Quite frankly, we very rarely lose a client because of price.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, cool.
And I should mention, if y'all are interested in learning more about Chime, your friend Kelly here actually really twisted my arm. It actually kind of hurts.
Yes.
But he got y'all a deal, 15% off. Either if you're talking to Chime, mention this podcast or visit learn.chime.me/Kelly Cook. So learn.chime.me/Kelly Cook, and you'll get your 15% discount.
That's awesome, Randy. Woo!
Well, if that's not a reason to try it out, I don't know what.
That is how excited I am to be here today, guys. I am giving away money.
15% off, guys. You heard it here first. Randy is hooking all of our listeners up if you want to at least have the conversation about possibly making the switch and going there. So, Randy, that is such a generous offer for our viewers. Thank you so much for doing that. Come on the podcast today. I personally really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No, it's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys, I mean, we've talked about it tons of times, like how important a good CRM is. And like we said, if you haven't already, you should have your business plan done. That should be your Christmas present, to be completely finished with doing that, right? But if you need to make adjustments, definitely do that CRM audit. Look at that checklist, and give Randy a call and get your 15% for trying them out. See what they can do for you. Other than that, it is Christmas time coming soon, but we'll be back for another episode next time, and can't wait to talk to you guys then. Thanks so much, Randy, for coming on.
Absolutely. And one last thing, Elizabeth, as always, you guys can, you can always find me at kellyhomes.com or 480-442-9868 here at the office. And I will say this, we have that document, right? If you want to know how to build your real estate team effectively from being a single agent to having a massive team in 7 different modules, it's a free document. Simply go to buildyourrealestateteam.com. and that document will be sent right to your email.
I'm not even a real estate agent. I'm gonna download that. Yeah. I'm gonna learn something.
It's some good information. I'm not in real estate, but if I ever want to, that's probably, I'm just gonna, of course, go straight to building a team. That's what I'm going to. That's what I'm following.
That's right.
We will see you guys next time. Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.